What's up, guys? Toxic here with some Bile and Blood campaign, mission number 2A. Against me in the Bile and Blood campaign is Sebs.
In the green corner.
Yes. And so Bile and Blood campaign, this is mission 2A. Last time was a story time where we went over the mission that's taking place there, but last time you saw the PDF forces get beaten out of the manufactorum district. Seb, did you want to kind of talk a little bit about this mission today?
Yeah, that's cool. So the the fermenters, we've got another squad down there under the influence of Nalakian, who is the ascended Dark Apostle, now Demon Prince. Now the fermenters have made an effort to consolidate the manufactorum district and have started dunking the rioters and no workday people into their brew, their tainted Mjod, and so now they're less cultists, but they are all Nurgle marked cultists, and they've nicked a couple of chimeras and hoping to smash a few more PDF and either break out the manufactorum district or just try and break the kind of this proper attack from the PDF and Imperial Guard being PDF.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the PDF have come in with some stronger weapons, some missile launches. They've actually brought in a tank this time. They have some Wyverns. However, they've gone with like low damage causing weapons. They still want to keep the manufactorum district intact. They still want to be able to get back to work. So they don't want to come in here with basilisks and all that just yet. So, for instance, the Lehman Russ has a Punisher cannon. It's just a Gatling cannon, no explosives. The Wyverns are more like what's the word? It's kind of like an airburst shell kind of thing, if I remember rightly. It's more like a shrapnel cannon. They're really the only thing that we have is the personal missile launches that are the most devastating weapon fluff-wise, I guess. We have should probably change the scene so people can actually see the board. There we go. There we go. So what we have today, PDF side, we have a platoon. Again, we're following the rules of how things are meant to be, kind of kitted out, I guess, and everything like that. But we're obviously like unbound in some cases here. So we just got the one platoon. One platoon. There's a 1, 2, 3 infantry squads, 2 heavy weapon squads. We got 3 Wyverns in a squadron, 1 Punisher Lehman Russ, and then we got some veterans. Oh yeah, these are the veterans over here. And they are actually the veterans. They're actually from the platoon from the last mission. Zed Wilds. He found some survivors, and they've basically been living in the manufactorum district, just kind of scavenging weapons and stuff left over from the battle. They've managed to piece together a few bombs. Game-wise, they are armed with melter bombs and 1 demolition charge. Fluff-wise, they've just been kind of throwing together some improvised explosives. Up here we have the Chaos side. How many cultists are in each squad?
20.
So 20 cultists in each squad.
Yeah. One set with auto guns, the other set with auto pistols, and they've both got a champion and a flamer.
That's a heavy stubble by the looks of it. Yep.
Okay, but it is. I also got 4 Nurgle spawns. Nalakian, the Demon Prince, who's still got his marks and war gear from the original Apostle, so he's got power armor and stuff. And they got a 6-man Chaos Space Marine squad with a new aspiring champion. Nobody so far, but if they do something in this, that'll be impressive. I just realised they're in the wrong place, so I'm gonna swap him over.
Yeah, and that's because Bob is currently on a mission to kidnap Gallus Hastis. That was his name, right?
Yeah. They offered the Pagan Marines to do his secret agent thing. It's a 6-man squad, combi melter and power chain axe on the aspiring champion. There's a melter gun in there as well. He's also got melter bombs, and we've got 2 kitted out chimeras, which basically are stolen from the previous. They're either stolen from the previous battle, or they were found in the manufactorum district, and they're new off the line, ready to roll, and being put back against PDF.
Yep.
It's also worth noting that the Demon Prince and the Aspiring Champion are not being favoured by the gods at the moment because they've both got Gifted Mutation and are both unworthy.
So we have 3 objectives. We're just playing objectives. We have Slay the Warlord, First Blood, and Linebreaker. Unlike the last mission here, we will be trying to cut back more after every turn, depending on what's happened. Just because I think at that point we'll basically be able to see more of what's happened. But yeah, we're new at filming these battle reports, so bear with us, and it'll be good. Any last words, Seb, before we start going? We get going.
No, I was just going to say about the objectives. I think obviously the ones on my side are 2 main important manufacturums that are hopefully still in working order. You're hoping they're still in working order, and yours looks kind of like it would be your staging post.
Yeah.
Kind of sort of fluff wise.
Yeah, that's kind of what I went for. Is kind of like the remnants of the last kind of assault, and they've kind of pushing up to the point where the last one, got pushed back, and they're going forward. So they've probably captured these factories down here, and now they're starting to capture some of the other ones.
Yeah.
And hearing the fight, Zed Wilds and his lot have decided to move on and fight with them. So we'll pause it there, and we will come back at probably the end of turn 1, because nothing much happens on turn 1, but if something does happen, then we'll come probably either at the end or halfway through it. Okay. Turn 1 coming up. Okay, I lied. We're coming back at the top of turn 1. This is the end of the PDF first turn. On the left flank, the platoon commander met up with his buddy, another platoon commander, Zed Wilds, and sees that he is still alive with his ragtag group. They came up, fired some shots into the cultists in the warehouse next to them, or opposite them, and did 1 wound and a couple of shots flicked off their armor. Coming back down to the Wyverns, they fired a barrage of shrapnel across the battlefield, tried to lobbing it down onto the Chaos Space Marines, who managed to get lucky as the Chimera took the shots for it.
I just imagine them sitting back, sipping a few cans of tainted Miod, while the Chimera in front of them just blows up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if it would have blown up. It would have just been like shrapnel, just like so much shrapnel just tearing through it that it would have just like eventually started getting through it, I guess, and just like shredding the guys inside. Like, because if something does get through, it's just gonna ricochet around inside of it, just tearing up the guys inside. So it was pretty brutal. The Punisher opened fire on the spawns, dealing 1 wound, which was unfortunate. The missile launcher squad just opened up fire on these cultists, and they managed to do a significant amount of wounds. But it's tough when they're in their factories, trying to deal with wounds to them. So we'll see what happens next turn, but the PDF does have to live through Chaos turn now. So anything you want to say before we go to Chaos turn 1?
Well, just happy that the cultists are surviving kind of alright as they are, so we shall see. They're holding those factories down.
Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts. Okay, on to Chaos turn 1. Okay, so end of turn 1. Zed Wilds and his lot got bunched on the side here. They moved up, they fired into some shots, and then the cultists ran out unexpectedly. I was not expecting that, since they were the shooty ones. We don't know if he's dead or not, but Wilds did end up taking down the cultist champion, but he was also taken down at the same time.
Double KO.
What did we have here? The spawn moved up and failed to charge, so that didn't happen. Anything else in your turn of note that you want to point out?
Cult is spread out in the factory. Oh, and the the drunken cultist driving the Chimera had no idea what he was doing, but he managed to get a wound on one of your heavy weapons teams at the back.
I like that your point of note is like, they spread out. Look, I spread them out.
I did a thing. Hey, I'm proud of myself.
Okay, so we'll probably be back at the top of turn, top of turn 2 at the end of the PDF's next turn. Coming up next. Okay, so top of turn, turn 2, we have PDF try to get some revenge back on these cultists. Even with the heavy flamer and the regular flamer, there's still 4 remaining, and he has a flamer left. They did pass their saves, so that's probably going to hurt me come next turn. The Punisher failed in spectacular form again, getting 0 wounds with his Punisher, and only 1 wound with the heavy bolters. So those damn spawn, they're tough. So I kind of panicked, or the PDF panicked, still seeing the spawn standing there, so the Wyverns fired on them. Again, I really haven't picked targets that the Wyvern is meant to be firing on, but they did take out 1, and then some missile launchers fired, took out another one, and then some missile launchers fired and took out some more, so I put way too much fire into those than I should have. Because
You love the idea of the PDF being freaked out though. Just kill the things.
yeah, I mean the PDF would be, and I think any smart person would also be afraid of them. I mean, they can hurt tanks and shred people in close combat if you don't get rid of them soon. Like, it's just bad news. This squad fired up. Did they kill 1 more from the squad up here?
They killed one more on the top right, yeah.
And that's about it. I mean, some things did good, like killing this cultist squad was pretty good. 2 spawn, I would have liked to have wiped out more, but I mean, what are you gonna do? So that was PDF end of turn 2. We're going into Chaos turn 2 now. Be back with that. Okay, so that's end of Chaos turn 2. We have Flamer went off down here with these cultists, took out 2 from the platoon command and 2 from the infantry squad. The spawn came into the Punisher that's just been having a bad day, lost 2 hull points. So they got a little bit lucky there. There was a failed charge over here with these cultists. They did take out one guy here, and then the Chimera did shoot down at these heavy weapons teams and managed to take 1 there. Anything you want to say before moving on to turn 3?
Yeah, Demon Prince moved to the corner of that warehouse. I know you enjoy my tactics.
Okay, time for PDF turn 3. Okay, so middle of turn 3, or I guess top of turn 3, or end of PDF turn, whatever you want to call it. These cultists got finished off by the Flamer in this infantry squad. The spawn ended up dying, fueled by my rage of how shit the Punisher's been doing. He finished off these 2 spawn. The Wyverns decided to actually shoot at something that they could actually do damage to, and missed. Luckily from the barrage, though, they managed to clip some of the, out of the 12 templates, they managed to get 7 hits on the cultists, which, not terrible. 6 guys died from that. We fired 6 missiles into the Chimera, who actually only took 1 penetrating hit, but he is shaken. So yeah, I mean, it's looking a little bit bare for Chaos right now. However, in saying that, they still have a Demon Prince, a squad of Chaos Space Marine, and a Chimera left, as well as some cultists.
He refused to run.
You can't you can't count out the cultists. Because I really thought they would have failed the morale check by now. But even without their commander, they're still staying strong. Anything you want to say before we move on to your turn, Seb?
No, I missed my spawns.
They took a lot of fire.
They did take a lot of fire. Also, I think I'm going to learn to be a little bit more cautious with the cultists, and maybe tin sheds are much safer than open ground.
It's tough to say, because if you had have made your charge,
Yeah,
it would have been a lot different, because you would have been in another tin shed.
that's very true, actually. Yeah.
So it's tough.
So yeah,
to
they
say.
got cut down while running from one factory to another. So I like the image of that.
Yeah, yeah. So let's see what they can do on turn 3.
See if that's cool.
Okay, so end of turn 3. The 4 cultists, or 5 cultists remaining, charged that squad of guardsmen. One got taken down by the flamer, and then they managed to actually finish them off, causing them to run away through the factory. But they found him and clubbed him to death. The missile launcher squad, after seeing the rest of his brothers die, ran off the board as well. So I mean, it's definitely looking a little grim for Chaos in the numbers department, but I mean, they still got a fully pumped up Demon Prince, well, pumped up in wounds. They still got those cultists left. They got some Chaos Marines still kicking it up in that corner, and yeah. And turn 4 coming up. Okay, so end of PDF turn 4. We had the Wyverns. This is the big thing that happened, was the Wyverns firing on the Chaos Space Marines here. They got 26 hits with their shrapnel blast, basically, and just decimated the Chaos Space Marines in there. Their 3-up armor their power armor saves just got overwhelmed by the amount of shrapnel. So now that the way is clear, that what's remaining of the platoon is running up the left flank to capture that objective. The Punisher tank is starting to slowly, just lumber across the battlefield, putting a couple shots into the Demon Prince, not doing anything. The missile launchers had a little bit more luck, doing 1 wound. The cultists, they passed their morale check, is that correct?
Yep.
Yep.
They did, yeah.
With 3 left, they're still kicking.
Plague dogs do not run.
So yeah, it's well, at the end of turn 4 Chaos side, we'll go over the points as we go into before we go into turn 5, because turn 5 could be the last turn. So turn 4 Chaos. Okay, so end of turn 4, we have the Demon Prince is coming over to try and get this objective on the left flank. The Chimera and the 3 remaining cultists are pretty strongly getting this objective here, and the PDF have this one here. So it wasn't really much damage or anything that happened in your turn, just mostly moving. So going into turn 5, this could be the last turn. So here's the points as it stands. We each have 1 point for 1 objective each. I have First Blood. No one has Slay the Warlord yet, and no one has Linebreaker. So right now it's 2-1 to PDF. Is that correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. So
Demon Prince wants some of your commander.
So yeah, if I mean, it's going to be pretty difficult for the Demon Prince to get over there, but if the game keeps going, then if the game keeps going, then yeah, it's he'll get over there. So we'll have to see if it keeps going or not. So here we go, turn 5. Okay, so we're halfway through turn 5, which could be the last turn. PDF has taken another wound off the Demon Prince, so he's on 2 wounds. Chimera got taken down by the Wyverns, and a rocket launcher shot, a missile launcher shot from these guys on this objective took out two of the cultists, who do need to make a leadership check. So you want to roll that?
Yeah.
So here we go. You guys won't be able to see this.
And
they're fine again.
Plague dogs don't run, baby.
Okay, so here we go. End of turn 5. We got the Chaos coming up. Okay, so we got the end of Chaos turn 5. Just moving in. This cultist getting on the objective. The Demon Prince up here, trying to get across in case the game goes on.
Let's be fair, he did the maximum he could possibly have got. He ran 6.
So I'm bringing up right now, this is a screen region of the dice roll. So the last dice roll, see, but that was Sebius rolls a d6. equals d6. So that was his run move. So you'll see it update when Seb rolls the dice. So we're looking for a 1 or 2 to end the game. Anything other than that, and we go into turn 6. Could have told me, and I would have stopped talking. But so there you have it. So we're gonna keep going into turn 6. So PDF turn 6 coming up next. Okay, there you have it. It's the end of the end of PDF turn 6, ending in a board wipe against the Chaos Star. Although I have to admit, Nelekium, the Demon Prince, took a lot of fire to take him down. He took, was it 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wounds from the Punisher that all 3 up saves made.
Yeah. The toughness of was immense.
And then the 1 crack missile from this guy shot up and took him down. Then I put 3 crack missiles into the 1 remaining cultist and took him down. So
teeny little bit of overkill.
So it did end up in a board wipe, so points really don't matter. But it was starting to swing kind of in one way there anyway. But it was a good fight. It honestly stayed fairly close for a good chunk
crazy.
of it. We do have to make some rolls though, so I'm putting back on the little roll thing here. We both lost a character that we have to check, see what happens. So I won, so I don't have to add anything to my rolls. Also, Zed wasn't injured before, so he doesn't have to add anything. So we're gonna roll to see what happened to platoon commander Zed Wilds. A 1, nothing happens to him. 2 or 3, he's minorly wounded. A 4 or a 5, he's majorly wounded. And a 6 will kill him because he's a minor character. So we're gonna dice roll here. Do 1d6. 5. He's majorly wounded, so he's gonna lose 1 wound. He's only got 1 wound, so you don't have to worry about that. But he's got -1 ballistic skill and -1 weapon skill the next time you see him. And we have Nelekium,
Who was uninjured, yeah.
He's uninjured. You did lose, so it is a +1. But he is a main character, so he needs a 7 to die.
Oh, please don't roll 6.
So +1 to a 6, he will be majorly wounded next turn. Next time he's around, so he'll have -1 ballistic skill, -1 weapon skill, and -1 to his wound.
And I think the saddest thing about that is he's not going to get his wings. I was hoping he was going to kind of distinguish himself this battle and hopefully get his wings, but that's not happening.
In the last battle, he was very, what's the word? He knew where he wanted to go. He knew what he wanted to do. He was very precise and decisive. Yeah. In this, with his new demon body, he was very indecisive. He didn't know where he wanted to go, or he didn't really understand his battlefield role.
Nothing to do with his commander not really understanding Demon Princes so much. Nothing to do with that. It's the same with the Chimera, strangely enough.
The Chimera didn't do bad.
First turn it did donuts though.
The first turn he did do donuts, yeah. So so the PDF has managed to take back much of the Manufactorum district. There will still be, probably some chunks still in Chaos Control. We will do a story time on this, but just to give you an idea of what we may be looking at next time, is that the Fermenters now are going to start coming down in force. That subtlety is out of the way right now, is that correct?
Yeah. It's time to invade.
And during this time, the Inquisitors had enough time to contact the Space Wolves and let them know what's going on. But we'll talk about that a little bit more in story time. So this has been Mission 2A. Mission 2B is going to be posted as well. Check out that one. That is a kill team mission where Bob the Fermenter, what's his name? What's his whole name? Roberticus or whatever?
Roberticus, yeah.
The Fermenter is leading a strike team to capture Gallus Hastis, the basically the lord of the Hive City, and it's about his bodyguard fighting back against that.
There's a Hive Lord.
So, anything you want to say before we wrap this up?
Just the wolves better beware with the fermenters in full force, because the plague dogs may be tricky little bastards, but the fermenters going to be bringing some serious firepower next time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of really happy with how the PDF kind of struck back on this one. So I might have a little detachment of PDF in some of my lists, just because like they're kind of pumped up now. They're like, yeah, take that, like this is our fight, kind of thing. So they want to be in there. But
well, definitely they brought out some bigger toys this time, but it's still PDF, and PDF fighting off an initial kind of chaos incursion is still pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, the Lehman Russ didn't do an awful lot. It was the Wyvern that really kind of helped out there.
Yeah, how many templates are you dropping each time? Is it 12?
Yeah.
That's a hell of a lot of diddly.
Oh yeah, it's that fast, and they no cover. They're only strength 4, but even when I targeted them all on the Demon Prince, like it did some wounds to him. It was like even single model targets they can go up against. You just need to get lucky.
No lucky.
They're lucky. So yeah. Anyway, Storytime 3 will be probably posted within the next week, like you always say there.
Yeah.
So once again, this has been the Bile of Blood campaign for AlliesIndex.com or Allies Index. Check out AlliesIndex.com. There you go. For more geeky gaming goodness. Once again, with me has been the one and only Darcevius.
Always a pleasure.
And I'm Toxic. Have a good one.